Afternoon, Mr. Prasad. Thank you for being here today. To get us straight off the bat, the tourism and hospitality sector, this has been one of the hardest hit sectors because of the COVID-19 pandemic. What do you see your role as right now as president of TAG?
Well, thanks for being here. As president of TAG, one of the key areas, the role that I have, it's to keep our organization together, the members. And with the pandemic, it's affected all the operations across Guyana. It hit like a hurricane, and we are regrouping. It's going to be a safety first restart, and some operations have already been approved to restart. So we want to make sure that it's going to be safe for everyone. So we're pushing heavily on vaccinations, making sure all the employees in the sector are vaccinated. Then we're going to make sure all the safety procedures and protocols are followed. So we just want to make sure everyone gets started. I mean, the restaurants are open, and with the limited capacity, it's still a strain, but I think as more persons become vaccinated, it's going to be easier for people to come out and enjoy the regular outdoors and indoor dining again. The resorts, hotels are slowly opening back up also. So I think once the safety measures are put in place, we can continue to thrive again.
Mm-hmm. Right. Could you tell us about some of the challenges perhaps you anticipate over the next year?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think one of the hardest the problem is the return of the full tourism force. Guyana has been one of the top destinations for ecotourism, and it's just a matter of getting flights. I've seen it in some countries, and I'm very excited that like Florida is opening up back, and it seems very normal. So I think challenges we're gonna have here is just to make sure that people are comfortable and they feel safe to return. We know there's a major drive by the government for more hotels, and so this is going to take a little time. So it's just we're still limited based on what's available, but it's just to get the confidence in people to come back out.
Mm-hmm. Right. And perhaps could you tell us about some of the plans you have now as the head of TAG? How do you see TAG contributing to tourism and hospitality development in Guyana?
Okay, well, there is the Hospitality Institute, which we're very excited to see that roll out. So we know there's a lot of employment that the Hospitality Institute is going to create. So it's going to be a major earner, continue to be a major earner for the country. People come to Guyana and they look forward to having a good time, and they expect certain service and quality. And it's very key to have people trained more within that sector. So we're hoping to see more hotels. I mean, the big chains are coming. We have the Hiltons and others, more Marriott. So I think it's a lot of employment. And to me, that is going to be a big driver in the economy.
Mm-hmm. Right. And how do you sort of see your role, and of course TAG's role, in sort of raising the standards of the industry?
I think it's a huge responsibility to have a body. I mean, we are like the Chambers of Commerce, but for tourism and hospitality. And it's an area where you have to make sure everyone is on the same page. The members are the ones who kind of tell us what they want. And it's making sure that the advocacy is out there. So there are concessions being offered, and as a group, we feel it always works better to come as a body. And TAG has been doing this for many years. So it's a matter of just continuing what we were always doing, and we work along with the Guyana Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism. So we have that communication and cooperation for the last couple of years, and we just want to continue to work together.
Mm-hmm. Right. And building on that, I know over the past year, TAG, in collaboration with the GTA and the local authorities, the ministry, they would have been instrumental in sort of bringing back business to tourism and hospitality, the tourism and hospitality sector. However, a challenge in all of this has been sort of maintaining the guidelines. Some restaurants, some bars, they've been in the news a lot. How do you contend with this issue?
Well, it's very difficult to me when you suddenly wake up one morning and then you're told your business has to close or can't operate. I mean, it's a harsh reality check, and I mean, everyone had to go through the same realization, closing for a period when you didn't expect or know what was coming. So I feel you have to be understanding of the rules, understand the safety, that you have to be responsible to everyone, and try to find a way how to operate, how to still survive basically. Because okay, fine, either you're told you can't open or you have to be limited among the persons, but you have to try to make it work. I mean, I say diversify a little bit. If you're a restaurant, try to offer more takeaways. You have to find ways how to still get the business that you're losing, because yes, we would like to operate until 12 midnight or 2 in the morning, but I can say at one stage we never used to have any curfew. Then there was a 2 a.m. curfew. But now, as you have to operate and close at 9:30 or 10, it's still something that you have to be able to how to adopt it. I mean, and make it work. Because sure, if you remove everything, people can be out. But then I think with the consumption of alcohol, people can tend to get a little careless and they might drop the guards. So it's just a matter of time that we need to adhere, stick to the recommendations, and wait until it's safe again. I mean, if you do things the right way, yes, you can operate until 12, but you have to prove that we're able to close on time as stipulated, and then push for an increase in the time. Because if we're out during the day, it's the same interactions with persons, the same risk that you can spread the COVID and get it. So, but if you're responsible, if you can make sure you sanitize, you do all the temperature checks. So businesses need to make sure they have all the measures in place. Sanitize very often, and eventually push to see if things can increase. But I think the most important thing is to make sure everyone gets vaccinated. I mean, if that happens, I think we're going to see a reduction in the total among the infections, and that will mean that we can operate longer.
Mm-hmm. Right. And as we're still in this COVID-19 pandemic and your tenure is beginning now, would you say that pushing for adherence to these guidelines and also to vaccination is something that you'll be working on?
Yes, definitely. I can tell you, within the industry, we plan to make sure we reach out to each one of our members within TAG and see that each operation can aim to be 100% vaccinated, and make sure all the measures are put in place. I know GTA has been policing some of the businesses and setting out how many persons can be in a location, and TAG plans to work along with the same bodies and ensure that all the members adhere to these regulations.
Mm-hmm. Right. And final question on the pandemic. About a year ago, more than a year ago, when the pandemic was first here in Guyana, tourism was shut down because it wasn't seen as an essential service. What's your take on that?
I think it's something that it was new to everyone. So the whole virus, and I mean, I personally felt like life had come to an end, or like you don't know if you're going to survive if you got COVID. So the tourism industry definitely is essential, but I think when you didn't understand how to deal with the virus, how you can prevent it, you felt like if the minute that you're in contact with someone else, oh, you're gonna get COVID, but it doesn't happen that way. So the whole world eventually did the same thing. So I don't think that we did the wrong move by shutting down, but obviously without warning, again, I know everyone, cash flow came to a lot of pressure, individuals and the business within the tourism industry, and it's very hard. It's very hard hit in most of it, especially the out of town areas. Some persons are lucky because they could diversify or have other businesses which help support them, and without that, I think we would all be in the same exact big trouble. But it is an essential industry, and but with flights not coming in, is the same way. You could stay open, but you still would not have persons coming to stay in hotels or resorts. So you would still eventually have to be closed or not operate, even if it wasn't mandated that you close. So, but all around the world, they're just putting all the measures in place, and so it's something we had to pass through. We learn from it, and then we have to know how to pick up and continue. But I think the tourism industry is gonna boom again, and it's coming. I mean, we are still one of the top destinations to visit, and it's just a matter of being patient, staying safe, and waiting for the right time for it to be fully operational again.
Right. Building on your last response, what do you see the prospects for tourism and hospitality in Guyana, perhaps in the next 5 years? What do you see those prospects being?
I think we have great potential. I mean, I like to travel a lot, and knowing that we have these hotels that are coming, some of the brands, I think it's going to uplift the entire country. So tourism hospitality has great scope. They will need a lot of persons to work and be employed within the industry, and the standards are going to rise. So it's always been something that people complain. Yes, we might not have the same best service in every single location you go to, but part of the problem is being training and exposure. So with the bigger names coming and who have international standards, they're going to force our people to improve themselves. And I think it's got great prospects. I mean, we all know what's happening in the oil industry, and they come with certain expectations. So I think it's a lot of pressure on the industry to meet these expectations of the foreigners and tourists who come in here.
Right. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I just say, I hope everyone take this time to explore Guyana. I mean, during the time it's been very tough for our members, and we need the locals to come out and explore a little bit more. So there's a lot of places that you could not travel or go to, but in Guyana you still could go to the interiors, visit Linden, Esquibo, Barabis. There's certain spots or tourist areas that it just takes a little drive or a little boat ride and you can reach somewhere totally different. So you need to come out from Georgetown a little bit more, and we will be looking to push some specials for locals. So that's something I want to really heavily bank on. So whilst we can't get the full tourists to come to Guyana, but let's offer specials to our locals and see if we can have some reductions to get them out safely.
Right. Thank you so much.